I'm gonna show you 12 ways to create better Instagram stories that will help you get more engagement and more followers. And you are gonna wanna stick around because I'm gonna show you how to find a ton of hidden Instagram story filters. You're going to love it, but you gotta stick around to the end. If you're new here, I'm Heidi Dean and I teach actors how to rock their online presence. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit that cute little bell so you never miss an awesome video just like this one. Now, the first thing I want you to remember with your stories is quality over quantity. I've been watching you guys and I noticed a lot of you are putting things on stories that you just really wouldn't want to put on your grid. But you gotta remember, the more quality you deliver, the more people will watch your videos and actually complete them, and the stronger your place in the algorithm will be. When that happens, you'll be more likely to show up at the front of people's stories and not all the way at the end. So before you post any story, always ask yourself, am I adding value to my followers with this story? Am I educating them? Am I entertaining them? Or maybe am I inspiring them? Always be adding value. Number 2, if you plan on doing a story where you talk to the camera, try adding text over your video for clarity. You see, a lot of people don't have the sound on when they're going through stories, so I like to add text or caption my stories to get more views. Now you can do this in a few ways. You can add some text on top of the video manually to give us the gist of what you're saying. Or there's an awesome app called Clipomatic that you're seeing right now, where you can see it says just press record and speak clearly, and it actually captions your stories as you record them. It also gives you a lot of text options, different bubbles, all sorts of options for making really cool stories. If I hit record here, it is going to record everything I say, and I can then upload it to stories. I also have the option when I stop to go in and edit any of the text to make sure it's exactly what I want to say. Pretty cool, right? And I'll make sure the links to any kind of apps or resources that I talk about in this video today are in the description below. And keep in mind, guys, if you are brand new to Insta Stories and you're not even really sure how the buttons work or all the features work, this step-by-step Insta Story tutorial will probably be a better place for you to start. So definitely go check that out. Another way to stand out and really get more engagement on your stories is to cast the recurring characters in your life. Think about it. Is there anything in your life that can be consistent in your stories? Maybe your child, your husband, your fish, your dog, or if you're fortunate enough to be a working actor on a show or in a show, maybe it's one of your fellow cast members that frequently makes an appearance in your stories. People will start relating to and recognizing these constants in your life, and plus it's just a fantastic way to let your followers into some of the recurring cast and characters in your life. I love tip number 4, and that is if you think you're gonna have a ton of text on your story, I like to do what is called a tap and read story. Let me show you how this works. A tap and read story is where you're going to layer in text one line at a time or just a little bit at a time in separate stories. So when you do this, you want to create the end story first. So let's put part 1 here, part 2, part 3. We can add some GIFs. So this Insta story would have 3 stories back to back. This is 3. I want you to hit save. This is going to save it to your camera roll. Then I want you to remove whatever is going to be added on part 3. And then hit save again. Then remove part 2. Hit save again. And this will be the first story. This will be part 1. Let me just go to my camera roll and you can see clearly right here. Here is story 1, 2, and 3. You're gonna wanna upload it in that order, story 1, 2, and 3, and you can see when your follower taps to go to the next one, text is gonna be added to the screen. A tap and read story actually gets people to watch multiple stories, which is a great sign for the algorithm without having to read a bunch of text on one story. Tip number 5, you guys are actors. I want you to find your light. Much better. I want you to find some light. It doesn't have to be perfect, but your stories should be lit. Go near a window, a doorway, or even find some face filters that might lighten up your face and environment. This is so simple, but so important, and really just goes right back to the quality of your stories. Number 6, don't just talk at us, talk with us. Try to create stories that spark conversation. Remember back to story time as a kid, whether it was your mom at night or maybe your teacher or librarian. They would read you stories, and as they went along, they would stop. They would ask you questions. They would engage with you to make sure you were paying attention. Instagram stories are no different. Have fun experimenting with using polls, question stickers, emoji sliders, or even try out that new Create tab on Stories that gives us a ton of different ways to engage our followers. Creating conversations like this is going to help you beat the algorithm, and it's going to help you build a super engaged community. Number 7, don't be afraid to storyboard it. If you're planning to do a longer day in the life story, or definitely if you're doing an Instagram story takeover, don't be afraid to take out a piece of paper and map out how you can effectively tell the story in the smallest amount of scenes possible. Now, unless you're a filmmaker or writer, this really isn't something that comes natural for most of us. So really mapping out this story one scene at a time can help set you up for success. For example, say you're going to a red carpet event or a wrap party. How much better would your story be if you took 2 minutes to map it out ahead of time like this, instead of just winging it throughout the day? Here's a perfect example. This will be a 5-part Instagram story. The first one would tease the event. Maybe it's you holding the invite or tickets to the event, or maybe just a picture of the tickets for the event. That's story 1. Story 2, we want to add that conversation. We want to get them involved. So let's ask our followers a question. Can you help me choose my outfit? Story 3 would be a couple selfies with the 2 options. Story 4 would be a poll. Which one do you like? And keep in mind, this poll is for engagement and for building your community. You don't actually have to wait for results to decide which one you want to wear. And then story number 5 or 6 or 7 would be pictures of you at the event and pictures of you having fun at the event. Because we sat down for just a couple minutes just to map this out, it's so much clearer, more succinct, and better for the viewer. Number 8, make sure you're using hashtag stickers, location stickers, and mentions. These 3 things can get more eyes on your account and can help you find more like-minded followers. By using a location, your stories may show up next to other stories in that similar location, which may help you find more followers. The same thing goes for hashtags. Stories actually show up in hashtag searches, so if someone's searching for that hashtag, you may show up. Now just know you can actually add up to 10 hashtags in your stories with the text tool, and you can use your fingers to make them super small and hide them behind a sticker, or hold your finger down and make them disappear into the same color behind them. Super cool, right? Now, for most of you, this next tip will be super obvious, but I have to say it. You need to be on brand and you need to be professional with your stories. Remember, you are using Instagram for your acting career. So I always say, make sure you ask yourself, does it pass the mom test? Would it be cool if my mom, dad, agent, producer of the show I really want to be on saw this story? Just because they go away in 24 hours doesn't mean they actually disappear. The internet never forgets. Guys, people can screenshot your story, they can hit that little airplane and send it to someone else over direct message. Just like you're keeping your grid photos professional for your career, you're gonna wanna run your stories through that same filter. Number 10, mix it up. If you're creating a longer story, ask yourself, how do I film the next story different than the last one? Don't just be a talking head, talk and walk. Change your angle, move in, up, out, change your location, change your background, use the hands-free mode, or use one of the many features that Instagram already has built into stories, like face filters, or one of my favorites, super zoom. BYOF, be your own filmmaker, guys. Keep on moving, make it visually interesting. This alone will dramatically affect your retention rate and keep people coming back for more. Now, tip number 11 is for you guys who have business accounts, but you don't have 10,000 followers. So you don't have the ability to tell people to swipe up and add a link to your stories. What I want you to start doing is, if you're trying to direct someone to your YouTube channel, your website, maybe a press feature that you were just in, ask them to direct message you for the link. You can do this in so many ways. You can simply type, ask me for the link. You can prompt them to type link here and I'll send it to you. Now you can do this with a regular account However, this is why it's super cool for a business account. Because with a business account on Instagram, you can set up quick replies. They're kind of like autocorrects. So you can set up a ton of quick replies that have the link to your website, your IMDb, your YouTube channel videos, whatever you want. To do this, just go to the 3 lines here, go to Settings, Business, then you go to Quick Replies. Hit the plus at the top. So maybe the shortcut is IMDb, and then the message would be your IMDb link. So if you're direct messaging someone, here is what would happen. All you have to do is put IMDb here, hit that little blue button, and the link is gonna be auto-pasted here for you. So cool, right? And the awesome thing is, if someone sends you a direct message, even if it's just an emoji, this is a super awesome sign for the algorithm that they should see more of your content. Pretty rock star, right? So maybe not having the swipe up feature isn't such a bad thing. One more tip before I show you those super cool hidden filters, and that is super simple, guys. Don't shoot horizontally. It's really obvious, but I still see some of you guys doing it, so I had to mention it. I just read a stat that only 9% of the people will actually turn their phone to the side to watch stories horizontally. So just don't do it. There are so many apps that will resize your photos for you so that they look super awesome and vertical for stories. My current favorite is Mojo, that'll let you use any size photo and video and turn it into a super eye-catching story. Your bonus tip is to try a hidden filter. I used one of these the other day and I got a ton of direct messages asking me where I found that filter. Really cool, right? Instagram recently released the effects gallery, where you can actually find face filters from all sorts of creators on Instagram. Now, I created a couple fun filters just for myself, so that might be a really easy way for you to find these filter effects. So just go to my account at Marketing for Actors, that's the number 4, and you can see I have a special tab on my page here. It looks like a face filter, and when I click on it, you'll see some of the face filters that I've created. Now, you're more than welcome to use one of mine. To do that, you just click on it. You can hit try it. If you hit that little arrow that goes down, this will be added to your face filters on stories. You can send it to a friend, or if you hit those 3 little buttons there, you'll have the choice to browse effects and you'll be in the effects gallery. And you can see there are a ton of hidden filters here. Got a tab just for filters created by Instagram. We've got selfies. Color and light and camera styles are a great place to start, but there's tons of fantastic things here in the effects gallery, and definitely some filters that are going to help you stand out in the story feed. You can see here, if I go into the stories camera, down here at the bottom, you are going to see some of those filters that are on my page that I created. A little thought bubble here. I have a little makeup filter. Usually it's just a little bit of makeup, but I have makeup on right now, so I have double makeup. And then here's some other really cool filters made by other creators. Pretty cool, right? And they'll appear here on the left of the stories screen. And these are all really cool filters from other people. Now, you can find the effect gallery on any creator's page who's created a filter, or you can scroll to the very end of your filters and you'll also see it there. There you go, 13 things to try out on Instagram stories to help you stand out and get more engagement. Now, since I know you're obviously interested in Instagram, here are a bunch of videos that will help you out on the gram. Until next week, I'll see you on social. Bye.